You know, it sure is great that Disney acquired Fox and has brought together all its most beloved characters under one banner. What's that? Oh. Oh no.
Spider-Man does whatever.
Giant multi-billion-dollar corporation says it can. Welcome to Exasperated Nerd Explains. Unless you've been hiding under a rock or been turned to dust, you've probably heard that Sony and Marvel's spider-sharing agreement broke down. Or, it did break down, then Sony saw some stocks tumble, and they are now quote-unquote still in talks. Here's where we stand. Back before Marvel Studios was a thing, Marvel was just a comic book company and not under the Disney umbrella. They periodically sold the movie and TV rights of their characters to different studios for the noblest of all motivations, money.
There is nothing quite as wonderful as money. There is nothing quite as beautiful as cash.
At the time, comic book movies not starring Batman weren't a big deal, so it wasn't an issue. Fast forward several years, and comic book movies are big business. Marvel was bought by Disney several years ago, and since then, they have been going through a long process of trying to bring these errant properties back into the fold. These agreements usually stipulate that the rights will lapse back to the parent company if the studio does not release something every set number of years. That's why there have been several reboots of the Spider-Man films in such a short period of time. As long as Sony continues to make Spider-Man movies, they will maintain the rights to make more Spider-Man movies. Given Sony also likes money, they are unlikely to let that lapse anytime soon. Several years and like 8 Marvel films ago, back in 2015, Sony and Disney came to an agreement. Spider-Man would appear in the MCU, with Disney giving creative input on future Spider-Man films. The current agreement has Disney receiving about 5% of the gross in all merchandising revenue. Spider-Man Far From Home has made more than $1 billion.
Billion with a B.
With a B.
In box office, and is the highest grossing Sony film of all time. Reports indicate Disney is now asking for an updated agreement with a 50-50 split, which is, a little bit of an increase. Everyone seems to be blaming Sony because they're going to take their toy and go home, but it seems they're just wanting a continuation of the current agreement. Disney is the one who's wanting to blow up the deal.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
And receive a tremendous windfall of, and this is a precise measurement, a shit ton of money. Now, it's believed the current agreement is still valid for 2 more Spider-Man films, so there's plenty of time for both sides to come together and keep him in the MCU. It's too early to speculate what would happen if they don't, but I'm going to anyways. They only have a few options. They could keep the current continuity they've been building, but would be without Nick Fury, Skrulls, Happy, Iron Man references, or any non-Spider-Man characters that have been in the MCU. Or, they could just reboot everything again. I mean, I could stand to see Uncle Ben die again. Or, Disney could just throw up its hands and buy Sony too. I mean, why not at this point? The outcome of this deal does not affect the tangential Spider-Man characters, like Venom, which has a sequel in development. The film rights for it and other Spider-Man characters were never negotiated to be in the MCU, which is why Tom Hardy can take a lobster bath with impunity. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you think fan pressure will be enough to make the 2 studios work it out. Please check out other videos on the channel, take a look around, like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Bye!